Chapter 2, Valle, Deliria. Liam walked Selena to the mansion, holding her by her hand. The old gate creaked and made Selena shiver. What the hell is this place? Josephine gently pushed her from behind. Come on, it's cold outside. The mansion was surrounded by dense fog, dry leaves crunched underfoot. It was so cold Selena could see her breath merging from the fog. A wooden sign hung on the porch. Welcome to Hotel Valle Deliria. Do they live in a hotel? At the entrance, Selena turned around, but could barely make out anything through the fog. It was as if the whole world had disappeared as soon as they left the city's main street. Liam opened the door and waved gallantly towards the house. Ladies first. Do you live here? Selena looked around the hall with a surprise. Josephine took off her gloves, a little annoyed, and replied, Yes, and so do you. She looked at Selena, shaking her head in displeasure. You stained your dress while lying on the road. Change immediately. Right here. Liam laughed at Josephine, flushed. Of course not. Go to your room. And where is my room? What's going on here? Cut it out already, will you? I'll show you the way if you forgot. Please take her. Make some herbal tea for now. Liam went upstairs. Okay. Selena didn't know what to do or how to react. She decided to go with the flow, so she followed Liam. Selena stared at Liam's back, walking in front of her. He looked like a real aristocrat. His movements were smooth, almost feline. He was glancing caringly every now and then at Selena, yet it seemed that his mind was entirely elsewhere. Maybe I'm being pranked, and they're all actors, but what is Emily doing here? Is she playing along? So many questions were rushing through her head, but there were no answers. Liam seems to be kind to me. Maybe he could help. Selena knew it was so difficult to go through life without allies. She addressed the situation the same way she would any of her breach projects, scrupulously, with a cold mind and a pinch of imagination. Finally, Liam stopped. This is your room. He opened the door. What just... We're being shown 2 bedrooms. Is this a choice? I'm going to assume so, figuring there's a third one. Nope, that's what I thought. Cozy room. Magnificent room. Simple room. Fine, we got the magnificent one. Looks nice, I don't know. What do you want from me? Quick, let's be shown around the room yet again. I didn't know the maids lived in such luxurious rooms. Something doesn't fit. Am I really dreaming? We really only have one maid, and that's you. Liam leaned against the doorframe and smiled. Plus, you've been begging Josephine for this room for a long time. Selena came to the bed and ran her hand over the soft covers. I have good taste. I'll go down to my sister. She changed your clothes, and you change your clothes and come join us. As you say, sir. Liam nodded, not catching the irony in her voice. Selena went to the closet and opened it. She looked skeptically at the outfits. Do I have to wear this? One by one, she took the outfits out of the closet and threw them on the bed. Simple and comfortable. Interesting outfit. Man, that looks like a nightgown back in that day. Patched outfit. I'm just gonna go with patched, I'm gonna be honest with you. Selena spun in front of the mirror and looked at herself indifferently. It'll do, I guess. It's black, leave me alone. After changing clothes, she went out into the hallway. She was in no hurry to go downstairs, and she went to the window and inspected the area. They have their own garden. How lovely. Someone was walking among the trees, but Selena couldn't see who it was because of the fog. The figure stopped and waved to her. She moved away from the window. The gesture seemed mechanical, neither welcoming nor threatening. It's as if someone knew she was who she was and how she got there, as if he was making fun of her. Selena looked out the window again, but no one was there. Shivers ran down her spine. She straightened up and became more tense, feeling an impending threat. Selena instinctively turned around as if she was expecting someone to appear from the dark corner of the hallway, but there was no one. She backed away from the darkness. What am I doing here? Why did I follow their lead so blindly? Entering this house was a terrible, dumb mistake. You're such a fool, Selena. And yet, she had nowhere to go. There was no safe place for her in that city. I need to get out of here. She pressed her back against the wall and began to move forward slowly. But the feeling of an omnipresent danger lurked in the darkness of the hallway, made her run. The hallway seemed endless. It seemed like every door she opened took her deeper inside the house. She couldn't find the stairs. She got confused. Finally, she saw a light in the distance. It showed her the way out of the labyrinth of fear. On the stairs, she heard whispers, something turning into displeased shouts. It was Josephine trying to prove something to Liam. Selena stopped and took a breath. She trembled and her body gradually began to recede. Selena chuckled, somewhat amused by how scared she had gotten. Wow, I got so scared of a little darkness. I need to calm down and pull myself together. The voices from below caught her attention once again. Maybe they'll say something that will help me understand what the hell is going on here. She eavesdropped on the conversation at the same time as trying to calm down. Josephine put the teapot on the table with a bang. Lilith is completely crazy. Don't be silly. Josephine bent over Liam, her fingers clenching the teapot handle. I'm not silly. She scares me. Who knows what you'll come up with this time? Don't say that about her. Take her behavior as a little prank. Lilith isn't trying to be mean on purpose. You know that, right? Josephine laughed a little hysterically. A little prank? At that moment, she noticed Selena's reflection in the mirror, who was hiding at the very top of the stairs. She straightened up and exclaimed pretentiously, Lilith, the tea is ready. Selena went down to them and froze in the doorway. That's not my name. Liam stood up, held out his hands to her. Of course it is. You're our Lilith, don't you remember? Come, sit down. Let's have a talk. Selena sat down in the chair. Have a drink. Herbal tea. Selena brought the cup to her mouth, but stopped before taking a sip. Who knows what they put in this tea? On the other hand, if none of this is real and I'm delirious, the tea won't hurt me. What should I do? Don't risk it. She put the cup down. Josephine looked away resentfully. I'm just trying to take care of you. I'm not thirsty, but thanks for your concern. Until I figure out what's going on here, I won't touch your food or water. I need to figure out as much as possible from them. I'm used to negotiations in my line of work. The situation isn't much different. The important thing is to control myself and not panic. Selena tried to keep her voice calm. Now, can you explain how I got here? Josephine pursed her lips in rage. You were born in the city. Do you need more details on how exactly? Path of the Emperor. Don't know what that means. Selena clasped her hands together, straightening her back, and looked Josephine in the eyes. I can't find an explanation on how I ended up here. I ask you questions, but you're not helping me in any way. You're talking nonsense, and believe it or not, it means I'm going crazy. I demand some sort of intelligible answer. Josephine stared at her in silence. I'm waiting. Liam intervened, trying to smooth things over with a smile. I won't lie to you, never. What can I tell you to calm you down, Lilith? Tell me, and I'll do as you ask. Tell me the truth. You don't seem to believe it. Selena looked at him, she bowed her head and smiled. That's right. They won't tell me anything new, but is there anyone who can? What year is it? Josephine impulsively waved her hand and rolled her eyes. Liam patiently replied, It's 1838. Surprised, Selena started to cough, but kept asking questions. What's the name of the city? Totspil. Totspil, I've never heard of it. Where is it? Can you show me on a map? Our city isn't on the map. And why is that? Josephine answered for Liam, unleashing all the irritation she kept inside. Because our city is a god-forsaken place, that's why. It doesn't make any sense. There are a few cartographers at the church, but Totspil is too far away from the rest of the cities. Its inhabitants have lived separately from the rest of the world for centuries and kept in touch with only the king's relatives, but they only met every couple of years. Knock, knock. As a knock on the door, and someone enters slowly. The floorboards creaked. Josephine jumped up from the chair. It's him. She rushed to meet the guest. Liam got up too. Selena remained sitting, rubbing her temples with her fingers. But suddenly she heard a familiar voice. She got up, hesitated, waited for a sudden excitement to pass, and then went out to join the others. Josephine was fussing around a stately man, dressed to the nines. It was Rob. We were waiting for you, Mr. Stouts. Because of the weather, the trip took longer than I had planned. When Selena saw him, the first impulse was to rush to him and ask him to stop the charade. But as soon as she took a step towards him, her heart sank. Hello. He nodded to her coldly and distantly. The way Selena was looking at him puzzled Mr. Stouts. He doesn't recognize me. He doesn't even know me. She was horrified. Selena swayed like a drunk and pressed her back against the door frame. She grabbed it with both hands as if she were afraid that she might collapse. Liam bowed to Rob. Welcome to our hotel. Rob looked around the hall with intense interest. You have an interesting interior. Josephine smiled proudly. We inherited this mansion. We decided to make it a hotel out of it to attract tourists to our town. Would you like a tour? I'm a little tired after the trip. Oh my, what was I thinking? Let me walk you to your room. Josephine servilely hurried to the second floor. Rob looked at Selena again. Does he recognize me? But no, he followed Josephine without saying a word. On the stairs he stopped and began to examine the paintings on the walls. His gaze froze on the portrait of a woman. Liam, flattered by Rob's interest, came closer. Do you like our paintings? Did you paint them? Liam couldn't help but smile slightly. No, not me. We have a tradition, did you know? We paint a portrait of everyone who stays at our hotel. I hope you'll honor us to add your portrait to our collection. Rob wanted to answer something, but Josephine interrupted him. But for now, you need to rest. Let's go, shall we? She moved on. Rob looked at the painting again and then followed Josephine. Selena watched him go upstairs and disappear on the second floor. Despair filled her mind with renewed vigor. I need to get out of here. Slightly staggered, she headed for the door. She grabbed the handle and pulled it. Lilith, where are you going? I'm leaving. But where? I need to get out of here. Liam walked over to her, touched her shoulder with concern, but Selena rudely shoved his hand away. Don't touch me. What got into you today? I don't know what's going on here, and I don't want to be a part of this madness. I've got work to get back to. I don't have time to waste. Selena seemed crazy, but at the same time she was thinking clearly. She left the mansion intending to get out of that city. The door closed behind her. Luckily, Liam didn't go after her. Selena exhaled. She felt like a bird escaping from a cage. And there was only one thought in her head: run. She took one step, then another, then she started to run. It had been a long time since Selena last ran. She felt like a little girl running away because of something she did wrong. The leaves crunched underfoot, breaking into small pieces as she made her way through the fog. And soon she saw the city. She stopped to catch her breath. There may be civilization outside this city. I'll hitchhike my way back home. She walked down a country road trying to get away from that place. Hitchhike with what? The horses? Selena walked calmly now. Her heart and thoughts slowed down. She regained her former composure. But anxiety seething somewhere deep inside wouldn't let her go. What if I don't find cars? What if there are no modern cities? What then? Selena came to a fork in the road. Where to now? Walk straight ahead through the forest. Left or right? Sure, let's go through the forest. There must be another life on the other side of the forest. She made her way through the thorns, intertwining tree branches, ignoring the cuts they left on her hands and face. She didn't turn around, didn't even think of stopping. She ran for a long while, and finally she heard the city rumble. I did it. I did... She pushed aside the last branch. Welcome back. The road led her back where she started. What the hell? I'll go the other way. She went back to the fork. What other way? There was a left or a right. Where to now? Why not? Let's play Where's Waldo? Right. Right is always the right choice. I'm gonna smack you. Selena walked fast, almost starting to run. And only after hearing the barking of the dog, she hesitated. What was at the end of the haze? Did she finally reach civilization? She walked around a tree and the city opened up in front of her. Still the same city. She backed away, shaking her head. No, it can't be. She ran back where she came from. Einstein would like a moment of your time as you continue to do insanity. Where to now? Left. It's the only choice left. As she moved on, it seemed that every step she took got her closer to freedom. It was a straight road, with almost no twists, no turns. Soon she heard voices and some kind of noise. Finally, she started to run. No. She fell to her knees in disbelief. No matter what road I take, I always end up back here. How's that possible? Ladies in hats walked around the city, not suspecting how crazy it all looked in Selena's eyes. Carriages with horses, even omnibuses rushed past. Just like cars once rushed in front of her. She tried to catch her breath and calm down. What is this place? The city wouldn't let her go. She got up, dusted off her skirt, and walked forward. She was consumed by her thoughts as she wandered the city streets. The inhabitants greeted her with a nod of their heads and a simple smile, but no one would look her in the eyes. Everyone averted theirs. Maybe they felt the engaging in conversation with her was a bad idea. She thought she was ready to pounce on anyone who tried to talk to her. Okay, let's say I ended up in the past, but why are there people here from the previous life? Why don't they remember me?
Everyone here is an animal in human skin, and you're a special breed.
Her face was distorted by a grimace of hatred. She barely looked like a human at that moment.
Damn you! May the universe respond with rudeness to your rudeness, and indifference to your indifference. I curse you!
Even if we assume, for a second, that this was the curse of the old woman, could she have cursed the entire city and make me the only one to remember that I'd suffer? Who is capable of such a thing? This isn't a dream or hallucination. Everything's too realistic, but a curse, it's all too crazy. Selena stopped. Her heart pounded in her chest. She tried to inhale, but couldn't. What's the matter with me? She saw a slowly walking horse and a rider on it. People partied before them, but it was as if they didn't see them. A sudden gust of wind blew away the leaves, as if clearing the way for a mysterious figure. The closer the horse came, the harder it was for Selena to breathe. When the rider caught up with her, the horse stopped. He lowered his head and looked at Selena. Oh. Okay. She was terrified. The rider took a card out of a sleeve and handed it to her. Her trembling fingers obediently reached for it without saying a word. As soon as Selena got the card, the horse started prancing. The rider pulled the reins and they trotted away, slowly as they had come. It seems that none of the residents saw anything. Selena looked at the car, trying to calm her trembling hands and examine the picture. That would be death, my dear. It comes for us all. Selena can collect major arcana. They'll help her solve the problems and lift the veil of the past and the future. Selena was burning with rage, indignation. She tried to find a logical explanation for everything that had happened. Finally, she made her peace with it. She realized that this was all for real. The world she came from no longer existed. There was only that card and the ghost town. Can you go faster? I want to get home as soon as possible. Emily was accompanied by her maid. Her maid tried to keep up, but the large basket of flowers required her to stop every now and then. I'm running, my lady. Emily, you're a mistress in this world? Seeing a familiar face, Selena calmed down and pulled herself together. Her mind was full of thoughts again. The rider handed me a card, like a penalty card on the football field. Does this mean I'm to blame for the situation? Selena exhaled nervously. She finally started to gather the pieces together. There are a lot of people I don't know in the city. It means that the curse affected not only those that had something to do with me. It was rather random. For example, anyone who came to the City Day celebration could be a victim. I told Emily to stay in the office, but chances are she didn't listen to me. Selena stared at her. When I get out of here, I'll fire you. That's for sure. You didn't learn anything from this experience. Selena didn't approach her secretary, she simply watched her. Ah! The maid tripped and dropped the basket. Flowers fell to the ground. Some of them ended up in a puddle. Emily stopped sighing hysterically and turned to the unfortunate woman. Useless girl. Selena flinched in surprise. It was the exact phrase Selena used over and over again, albeit she never allowed herself to raise her voice. Emily squealed in the middle of the street. You're good for nothing. I can't even trust you with a basket of flowers. Passerbyers turned around. The maid, like a shamed kitten in the corner, listened silently to the accusations. Selena's ice-cold voice rang out. I keep wondering why I keep you around. Remind me again? Sorry, I... Ashamed, she glanced at Rob. She didn't want anyone to witness her being scolded. Yup. Selena turned away and wandered on, trying to get rid of the inconvenient memories. She got distracted. She's basically like Scrooge, except she's living in sort of a limbo ghost town from what I'm picking up. She felt like she hadn't worked in ages. It was unusual to walk around the city like that, without rushing anywhere. Selena wasn't paying attention to the road, but wasn't surprised when she realized she ended at the mansion. A man was swarming at the gate. He squatted, was going through the contents of a box. Selena slowed down, but he heard her anyway and turned around. Ooh, it's you! Hello, Lilith! The man awkwardly looked away, clutching a woman's mirror to his chest. Then Selena saw the inscription on the box, Gifts to the city, take one, don't be shy. This is for my wife. He twirled the mirror in his hands and awkwardly walked past Selena. Good day. and then hurried away. Selena bent down to look at what was in the box. A scarf, some jewelry, some trinkets. Is this some kind of charity? Selena lost interest and headed to the hotel. The house was suspiciously quiet. Selena didn't immediately notice Liam staring at the paintings. His figure merged with the darkness. Only the scattered candlelight outlined his silhouette. He didn't turn around when he heard the closing door and only said, "I knew you'd come back." Even I didn't know that. Selena went up to him. He touched one of the paintings and ran his hand reverently over it. "I'm so good at seeing other people's talents, but I'm not able to create a masterpiece. My life is like the 10th circle of hell that Dante didn't bother to describe. And only these pictures make me forget about it. I just stand here and admire them. Do you like them?" "Yeah, why not?" His eyes lit up. "You've always been the only person I talk to about my passions. Thank you, Lilith." Liam is glad you have common ground. Liam took Selena's hands and squeezed it gratefully, looking straight into her eyes. She smiled, gently pulled her hand away. "You're welcome." Josephine descended the stairs, but noticing Selena with Liam, she stopped.
There you are, Lilith. We have a lot of work to do. Start cleaning immediately. I want the guests to be happy. Do you understand?
Josephine pointed to a bucket and some rags waiting for Selena near the stairs. "Sister, I don't think Lilith can do it today."
I don't want to hear that. She's probably come up with all this nonsense just to avoid work, but you can't fool me, young lady. Don't forget your place in this house.
She arrogantly raised up her head and disappeared into the living room. Selena went down to the bucket and sat on the last step. She looked at the rag and thought, I ended up in this house for a reason. Perhaps if I play along, I'll figure out how to get out. But do I really need to do everything they say? It's not the first time I've had to kiss ass to get ahead. And it won't be the first time I've had to endure humiliation knowing that someone or someday I'll triumphant. I've always been able to adjust. I have to adapt in order to survive. So I have to play along. I have to become a part of this world. Liam caught up with her. For a while, he watched her thoughtful look, but then he couldn't resist and laughed. I see you're not in the mood for work. Let's go for a walk. He went ahead, but stopped waiting for Selena to follow him. Okay. They went out into the garden. The garden was small but cozy. There, one can hide from prying eyes, meditate without fear that someone would read one's thoughts just by looking at the pursed lips or tear-stained eyes. It smelled of wet grass mixed with St. John's wort. Just don't start again. What are you talking about? Liam ran his hand over the leaves of a tree as if stroking them. Her gaze fell on his fingers, long, thin, arty. They caressed the leaves, touched them gently, then let go of them. Selena felt her cheeks turn red. He noticed her blush. He smiled, and there was something in that smile that made her blush even more. She'd really forgotten what it was like to communicate with men. Liam continued their conversation as if nothing had happened. Don't shirk your work. Listen to Josephine. You know how angry she can get. It took Selena a few long seconds to remember what they were talking about. She replied obediently. No, I don't know, and I don't want to find out. Then, at least pretend you're doing something. Sister is constantly redoing all the work anyway. She's a perfectionist. The bushes rustled. Selena heard someone's quiet steps. Liam turned around, but the noise stopped as if it had never happened. Is there someone else in the garden? Liam cheerfully yelled. Come out, Prima. I know you're out there. A girl, about 14 years old, came out of the bushes. She was chewing on some flour, twisting its stem with one hand while holding a wreath on her head with the other one. Prima, you have to take care of the god, not destroy it. Josephine will be furious.
Hey.
Prima shrugged indifferently. Actually, I'm in touch with the garden. We became friends. Just wait and see how it'll bloom later. Don't you remember her either, Lilith? No. Prima came out of nowhere on our doorstep a couple of weeks ago. She had nowhere to live. Josephine took her in. Took me in. Actually, I'm on my own like a cat. Prima went up to Selena, began to look over her, scrutinizing as if it were the first time she saw her. She came very close, touched her clothes and hair. Prima, don't bother Lilith. The girl snorted, shrugged again, and stepped away from them, continuing to chew on the flour. Prima, you have an interesting name. She shook her head and didn't answer. Why Prima? Because I'm the first. What does it mean? That's exactly what it means. I'm the first in everything. Like a champion? She laughed out loud. You could say that. Weird girl. Liam listened to their conversation without interfering. Selena noticed how kindly he looked at her and at Prima. It was so strange to realize that someone cared about you so much, even though you didn't care about him. Liam was a stranger to Selena, but she wasn't one to him. Josephine's voice came from the living room. Liam hastily turned to Selena. You better pretend you're cleaning. Don't make her angry. Prima laughed loudly, stood on her tiptoes, and waved her wreath. Now this will be fun. But Liam pushed Selena into the house. They stopped at the bucket of water. Selena forgot what cleaning was like. She had a housekeeper for years. Funny thing, now I'm the housekeeper. Lilith, don't be stubborn. It's your job, after all. So what do I do? Okay. She squatted down, dipped the rag into the water. She grimaced at how icy the water was. He smiled and bowed gratefully. Selena wrung out the rag and threw it on the floor without hiding her disgust. There's no shame in honest work. Don't be so arrogant, Selena. The hardest part was to start. Selena knelt and began to mop the floors. That was how Josephine found her.
Oh, you've got to work. I understand that sometimes you get bored. You have a very strange character. But the rest of the world doesn't revolve around you. I'm glad that we understood each other.
Josephine went up to Selena, bent down slightly to touch her cheek, and then went on.
Try to be on time for dinner.
Selena brushed a strand of hair from her face in annoyance. Got it. All the time until dinner, Selena was consumed by her own thoughts. I wonder what it connects to me to these people. I'm too cocky for a servant, but they tolerate it and don't seem surprised. This world doesn't exist or exists somewhere in a parallel universe. Who knows? Maybe in this world maids are allowed to speak up? One way or another, I won't bow before them. Josephine's voice interrupted her train of thought.
Mr. Stelz, this way, please.
Selena held her breath when she saw Rob again. For some reason, his presence there seemed especially odd. She desperately wanted to get him to recognize her. But Rob looked at her the same way he looked at Josephine and Liam, with wariness, so like he would look at strangers. Selena waited for him in the hall like an obedient servant, meekly pressing her palms to her stomach. Until I solve this riddle, I'll play along just to avoid listening to Josephine's screams. Rob greeted her and nodded his head. Good evening.
This is the living room.
They walked to the table. Selena followed them and closed the doors behind her. Liam just was already sitting at the table, but stood up when he saw Rob. Josephine is a great cook. I hope you'll enjoy it. It smells delicious. Selena sat across from Rob and next to Liam.
Where is Prima?
I don't know.
Oh, she always disappears somewhere. Let's not wait for her. Let's pray.
Josephine held out her hands. Rob hesitated but held out his in response and closed his eyes.
Lilith.
What? Selena glanced at Liam's open palm. She followed Rob's example and accepted the rules of the house. Foot stomping was heard coming from the second floor. Selena opened her eyes. Who's upstairs?
It's probably Prima.
Prima didn't come inside from the house. Josephine shrugged her shoulders angrily.
Then it must be a draft.
Selena stared warily at the ceiling. She remembered how she felt someone's presence before, as if someone was watching her from the shadows. She felt uneasy. Rob also glared at the ceiling.
Prayer.
Josephine closed her eyes.
Bless us and these gifts, O Great One.
Great One, that's something new.
Bless those who grew them, harvested them, cooked them. Teach us to share bread and joy with others. So be it.
She unclenched her hands and unfolded the napkin and gently laid it on her lap.
Bon appetit.
You too, sister. For a while, everyone was silent. Only clanging of silverware was heard. Rob ate slowly, constantly raising his eyes and glancing at the present, at those at the table. He looked collected, ready to pounce to defend himself. He also studied the living room carefully, as if trying to memorize every single detail. Rob also paid close attention to Selena. At first, he stared at her face for a long time, then looked at her clothing and analyzed every movement of her hands. Whenever he looked into her eyes again, she always reciprocated. Rob couldn't understand why she was looking at him like that, as if she wanted him to say something or do something, but he couldn't understand what Selena wanted from him. Also, the way she moved and spoke seemed out of place. She was too cocky, rough around the edges for a simple servant. Liam noticed their exchange of glances, and Selena noticed how tightly he squeezed the fork. Rob doesn't remember me, I figured that out, but can I trust him? Can he become my ally? Yet, why would I need an ally if I don't even know how he could help me? Only Josephine was in a chatting mood.
Oh, yes, an artist would come tomorrow to start painting your portrait. I hope you don't mind.
Rob didn't immediately realize she was talking to him.
Mr. Stelz.
And then he reluctantly replied, I don't remember agreeing to that.
Oh my, how presumptuous of me if you're against it then.
No, never mind, I agree.
Oh, this is great. You have a very noble face, and I'm sure it'll be a great painting. Bert, the artist, lives in an annex near our mansion. You'll like him.
I'll be glad to meet him. Everyone fell silent again, and remained silent till the end of the meal. Rob got up from the table. Thank you for dinner. Josephine jumped up.
Oh, you're welcome.
Rob looked at Selena one last time and disappeared behind closed doors.
Let's clear the table.
Josephine's voice went from respectful to haughty and commanding. Selena used to talk like that to people, and suddenly someone dared to take that tone with her. I like how she says dared. Selena got up, took a plate off the table, but awkwardly knocked off a glass. Oh no. Luckily, Liam caught it in time, preventing it from shattering. Josephine, fortunately, left the living room and didn't see the incident. Liam carefully took the plate from Selena's hands and said, "Let me help you." Accept help and be alone with him. Why not? Thank you. He nodded and began to collect the plates. His movements were quick, dexterous. His long, thin, aristocratic fingers looked like they were meant to create beautiful things. He avoided looking Selena in the eyes as opposed to Rob. When they finished, Liam sat down, put one of his hands on the table, and finally looked at Selena. "Did you like our guest?" "He's like everyone else." "That's not what I meant. I know you, and you know it." Selena was surprised, and Liam started the conversation. "Are you jealous?" Liam was just as surprised by her question. "No, I'm used to knowing what's on your mind." Selena paused, pondering what to say to him. I didn't like him. I'm just wondering why he's here. Great, I'm making excuses. How did he do that? You know this shouldn't concern us. He fell silent, then added, There's this distance between us that scares me, to be honest. What I mean is that usually when you get like this, you're brewing some evil plot or deciding that life has lost its colors and you're ready to paint it with your blood. Paint with blood? You tried once. You said that all the time you thought you were chasing after something turned out that you were just running away from yourself. And you realized that you couldn't run away from yourself, so when you looked in the mirror it shattered, unable to withstand the darkness of your soul. That's some serious BS. His words made Selena uncomfortable. He smiled, showing his support. He went up to Selena, wanted to touch her face, but changed his mind and lowered his hand. I just want to say that you can trust me. I'm still the same Liam. Liam bent over her and looked her in the eyes. Even if you're crazy, I won't turn my back on you, just like you didn't turn your back on me. He kissed her gently on the nose, straightening up, and began to fold the tablecloth. You and Liam have grown closer. Don't stay up too late. Josephine liked the guest. She'll be very keen to please him, and she'll demand the same of you. Selena watched him puzzled. Her nose was still burning from his short kiss. For the first time, a different kind of thought flared up in her imagination. Since Liam is here, surely he exists in the real world too. I wonder what he's like there. And do our paths cross at any point? Selena shook her head. Now isn't the time to think about that. Liam finished folding the tablecloth, turned to her, and took her hand and kissed it gallantly. Sweet dreams, dear Lilith. He bowed and left, leaving her alone with her thoughts. Selena went to the hall, but stopped at the stairs. Those noises during dinner, something is clearly going on upstairs. If I have to live here, I need to make sure I'm safe. She touched her hand just below the elbow and reassured herself that the butter knife she stole while cleaning the table was still there. It might not be much, but at least it's some sort of weapon. She climbed one step, but she immediately froze as she heard the floorboards on the second floor squeak. Be brave. She moved on, skipping every other step. Selena held on tightly to the railing. This is too much. The hallway was pitch black. The few pathetic candles didn't do much good, and the moonlight only cast shadows on the walls. Selena took a few steps forward. Squeak. Who's there? The floorboard creaked under someone's foot. Squeak. Creak. Selena grabbed the knife and slashed the air with it. Show yourself. She heard a hoarse, drawn-out little voice calling to her from darkness. Lilith. Selena recoiled, pressed her back against the railing, and almost tumbled down. The knife slipped out of her hand and fell. Damn! Who's there? She got desperate and shouted, Show yourself! The voice rang out again. Lilith. Stay put, take a candle, and move towards the sound. No, I'm running downstairs. Selena rushed down the stairs. She stumbled and almost fell down, but managed to hold onto the railing. Scared out of her mind, she wanted to run outside, but then she heard Josephine's voice.
Lilith, what's wrong with you? You look like you've seen a ghost.
What's going on up there? Someone called me. Can you explain it? Suddenly she heard someone laughing. Primo looked out from behind Josephine. How was I supposed to know you scare her so easily? It was you?
Who else?
Bastard, you almost scared me to death. Did it ever occur to you that children need to be raised properly? Selena frantically brushed the hair off her forehead. She was angry with herself for how cowardly she behaved. If my employees saw me now...
Don't talk to me like that, you lousy girl. When will you ever change?
Prima showed Selena her tongue. -1 redemption. Whoops. So we gained 1 redemption and then lost it. Woohoo! Prima showed Selena her tongue. Coward! And she ran upstairs.
I need your help, and then you can go to bed.
Voice was cold, arrogant. She said this and walked past Selena. Selena followed her, still shaking from after Prima's joke. Isn't that what most people do? They run from, I don't know. Josephine sat down at the coffee table with tons of letters on top of it.
Have a seat.
Selena sat down across from her.
Help me sort these letters. Put those that are sealed here and those that are already open here. Got it?
You bet. Selena got to word. Her hands trembled a little, but realized that the evil lurking in the dark is just a little girl helped her to calm down. Maybe this world isn't so crazy after all. They were both silent while sorting the letters, and there was something soothing about it. Selena didn't really read the addresses, but one letter caught her attention. The name written on the envelope revealed the anxiety of the person who wrote it. Those sharp squiggles almost seemed hysterical. From Frederick Rosen. Look at it. Josephine snatched the letter from Selena's hands.
I didn't ask you to look at them.
Josephine started to move faster and wasn't so pedantic anymore about stacking the letters perfectly. It was as if she was afraid that Selena would get interested in the other addresses. Among the few scattered letters left on the table, Selena saw some tarot cards. Her heart skipped a beat. She brushed away the letters that took 2 cards. Major Arcana will help Selena do the right thing in the future, try to figure out their clues. The Fool. Listen, I hate puzzles. Leave me alone. Stop it. I'm serious. The Chariot. The Fool and the Chariot. The Fool is riding on the chariot in this one. Josephine noticed how interested Selena was in those cards, how she clung to them as if she couldn't believe what she was seeing.
Beautiful, aren't they?
Selena slowly raised her eyes. Do you read tarot?
No, I wouldn't say so, but they are very entertaining. Each card has a special meaning. There's a legend. It says that people who live on Earth are incredibly young. They are like blind kittens that didn't yet gain sight. We are discovering the world around us and ourselves in it. That's why we were given a book that reveals the secrets of the universe, the Book of the Tarot. Others call it the Book of the Dead, sent by the gods.
Selena took out of her pocket the card that the writer gave her. What does this one mean? Selena handed the card to Josephine. She just glanced at it.
The minor arcana give advice. The major arcana demand that you pay attention. Your card is a major arcana.
What should I pay attention to? Josephine looked at the card again and ran her hand over it.
Death. In the tarot, it means transformation, the rebirth of a person.
Yeah, most people think it means literal death.
It tells you it's time to change.
But then the reverse card of the side of the card caught her attention.
Where did you get it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Josephine turned her cards over to show Selena. They're from the same deck. Where did you get them from?
Oh, a mysterious guest gave them to me many years ago.
Josephine spoke of him with nostalgia.
He told me about the tarot. He laid out the cards, predicted my future. A lot of things turned out to be true.
She remembered something and smiled.
He asked for a portrait of him and said that someday someone will see it. That's how our collection of portraits started. He was the first one. Maybe he meant to you. Maybe you're the one he wanted this portrait to be painted for.
Josephine was amused by the thought. Selena wasn't laughing, though. Her voice was ice cold when she said, "Show me."
Of course. I'll gladly show it to you.
Selena followed Josephine. Although she was petrified, Selena hoped she was right and her guess would be accurate. It would mean that she was finally on the right track. Josephine climbed the stairs and stopped near the paintings.
Over there, see the first portrait in our collection?
She raised her head. She stepped down a few steps to get a better look. It's him. The portrait of the tarot reader. Selena couldn't make out the details, but she knew for sure the mysterious guest who presented Josephine with the cards was a tarot reader. Although his face was obscured, she could feel his gaze. It was as if he was saying to her, "I'll come for you." Nice whispers. So, we gained 1 redemption, then lost it. We gained 3 major arcana, gained 1 emperor, no high priestess, and yeah, no, again, we lost a redemption. Well, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description of the video. Plenty of things to check out there. Without further ado, stay tuned for plenty more content to come. And apparently there's supposed to be a diamond rush happening that I'll take advantage of and jump on a bunch of these videos and do that and get it lined up for you guys to be able to view. So, once again, thanks for watching. Catch you all later. Peace out.